Okay, we will now suspend discussions on item 8B, as we have received many requests for nominations to be examined later in the afternoon, given the time issues. And then after that, we'll continue with item 8C, with files from Belgium, Sweden, Panama, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And then after that, we will proceed to item 8D to examine the international assistance request from Zimbabwe. After that, we will reopen item 8B for the remaining nominations before reopening item 8 for the Chapeau decision. I trust this plan is agreeable and not too complicated. Let us now start with item 8C. So we move on to item 8C, which is the examination of proposals to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. I now call on the ADG to introduce the item. Thank you very much. ADG.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Let me recall that the committee is to evaluate to which extent the proposal best reflects the principles and objectives of the Convention. In other words, it is not necessary to meet each and every criterion in order for the proposal to be selected. The purpose of this register is to select effective safeguarding practices to be selected, disseminated, and potentially replicated elsewhere. Before starting this examination of the proposal, the committee may wish to keep in mind the criteria that must guide our decision today. We cannot see that on the screen? As we cannot see it right now, the submitting state party is requested to demonstrate that an element best satisfies all of the following criteria. I believe that you know very well the instrument. We have from P1 to P7, P8, the last being the program, project, activity, futures, experience that are susceptible, I didn't launch, to an assessment of the results. I also take this opportunity to remind the committee that the evaluation body during the work did not apply the former criterion P9, which was removed following the amendments made to the operational directives by the ninth session of the General Assembly in July last year. It was Resolution 9-GA9. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, ADG. I can see you are struggling just as much as I do. So maybe it's our lunch. I now give the floor to the evaluation body so they can share with us the findings of the body on the proposal. On the first proposal, which is the ICH Safeguarding Practices Program for the Cultural and Ecological Sea Turtle Festival.
No. Huh? We start with the Belgian one. With the Belgian one.
Maybe we
should go back to lunch. I have not lunch. Huh? Pages 3. No, because we do indicate, yes, because. Sorry.
Where do I start? Okay. So could the evaluation body please introduce the next file, which is Safeguarding Foster Care Heritage in the Merciful City of Geel, a community-based care model. Evaluation body, please.
The next file, Safeguarding Foster Care Heritage in the Merciful City of Geel, a community-based care model, was proposed by Belgium. The Belgian tongue of Geel is known for its tradition of hosting people with mental disorders in the homes of foster families. Over time, the practice has evolved into a scientifically and medically supported program with laws and decrees defining the conditions, responsibilities and rights of foster families, guest and the Public Psychiatric Care Center. Despite its resilience, this tradition is challenged by changes in modern society and the mental health care. A multi-layered safeguarding program highlights the complementarity of diverse health approaches by nurturing a warm-hearted ecosystem where cultural and healthcare practices and medical institutions merge.
The program involves a well-established practice of hospitality and care in a wide social and cultural context. The safeguarding program has generated multiple benefits for all actors involved, such as mentally vulnerable people, foster families, and the broader community. The program is recommended for approval on the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. Thank you.
Are there any comments? And can we have the draft decision? No? Is there?
Yeah, now we have.
Okay. Can we approve the draft decision? I therefore declare draft decision 18.com/8.c.4 as approved. Congratulations, Belgium. You have the floor, Belgium.
Dear Chairperson, Honourable Committee and Evaluation Body, dear colleagues, dear friends, communities watching us at home in Geel, Brussels and beyond. On behalf of the Kingdom of Belgium, I would like to express my gratitude to you for examining and including our proposal, Safeguarding Foster Care Heritage in the Merciful City of Geel, a community-based care model for the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. We firmly believe that this proposal is an extremely inspiring example of a mental health practice deeply rooted in history, transformed to a professionally supported contemporary care model. It is a shining example of how intangible cultural heritage and mental health care can go hand in hand, positively influencing each other. I personally had the great pleasure and honor of working with the heritage community of Geel in writing this proposal. I have experienced a warm and caring community open to all. However, being humble is a part of their way of life. I hereby take the chance to congratulate the community itself on their actions and encourage them to continue the safeguarding actions, be proud, and keep looking over walls, connecting hands between heritage and care. To conclude this joyous moment of celebration, we would now like to show you a small thank you movie from the community, after which I hand over the microphone to a representative of the community, Ms. Jana Lefevre. So could we now have the movie, please?
In onze stad Geel worden al meer dan 700 jaar mensen met een psychische kwetsbaarheid opgevangen door pleeggezinnen. De Geelse gezinsverpleging vindt haar oorsprong in bedevaarten tot de heilige Dimpna, waarbij pelgrims worden opgevangen door gezinnen in de buurt van de Sint-Dimpena-kerk. Pleegouderschap wordt hier van generatie op generatie doorgegeven. De pleeggezinnen en pleeggasten worden begeleid en ondersteund door het Geelse Psychiatrisch Zorgcentrum. De initiatiefnemers engageren zich, elk vanuit hun eigen invalshoek en expertise, om deze waardevolle zorg een mooie toekomst te geven. In Geel- en randgemeenten, maar mogelijk ook ver daarbuiten. Zo kunnen toekomstige generaties blijven genieten van de voordelen van gezinsverpleging, van warmhartige zorg tussen de mensen en gedragen door de gemeenschap. Deze UNESCO-erkenning kan andere gemeenschappen inspireren en biedt ons ook mogelijkheden om door uitwisseling te groeien.
In Geel vinden we het heel belangrijk dat iedereen erbij hoort. Vanuit deze inclusieve zorgcultuur zijn we dan ook heel blij met de UNESCO-erkenning en willen we daar blijven op inzetten.
Bedankt UNESCO voor onze bijzondere woonvorm voor mensen met een psychische kwetsbaarheid naar waarde te schatten. Het is een eerbetoon aan zorgen voor elkaar.
Het Gasthuismuseum wil blijven verder werken aan de bewaring van deze prachtige traditie en vanuit de gemeenschap en de Dimpelaan-collectie het verhaal van de Ierse prinses en de gezinsverpleging delen. Daarom danken wij UNESCO hartelijk, zodat we dit kunnen blijven verder doen.
Ik ben heel blij dat ik in mijn gezin mag blijven wonen.
En daarom van harte bedankt voor het erkennen van de Geelse gezinsverpleging.
In naam van alle pleeggezinnen en pleeggasten, jullie maken enorm veel mensen blij.
Dank u.
In Geel, people who are mentally vulnerable feel at home because they are part of a foster family and a community. If you live in Geel, you learn to radically accept mentally ill and vulnerable people. We are supported by medical professionals, but most of us are no doctors or nurses. We simply are people that take care of each other. So thank you again, UNESCO, for acknowledging our tradition, its values, and the knowledge on mental health matter that is cultivated within our community. Thank you for including the foster family care model into the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices, because this gives us the opportunity to internationally exchange ideas, expand our knowledge on community-based healthcare, and reinforce our foster care tradition with other perspectives and new networks. To us, this inscription in the register is the beginning of many fruitful collaborations. So we would like to invite you all to our site event tomorrow during lunchtime, where I will talk about the history and current state of psychiatric foster care. You will find an invitation on your table. On behalf of the foster families, the Psychiatric Care Center of Geel, the Foster Family Council, and the people from Geel, thank you all.
Thank you very much. We now turn to a file from Panama.
No, Sweden,
Yes.
Sweden.
But you've just given me this one.
No, remember, two. No, it was just this one.
Okay.
Sweden.
Okay, I told you it's lunch. But I didn't have any wine. So we now turn to a file from Oh, thank you. We now turn to a file from Sweden. Could the evaluation body please introduce the next file, which is the Nyckelharpa Network, an innovative dissemination of a music and instrument building tradition with roots in Sweden. My apologies to Panama.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Sweden has proposed Nyckelharpa Network, an innovative dissemination of a music and instrument building tradition with root in Sweden. The Nyckelharpa is a bowed instrument originally built and played by farmers and craftspeople in northern Uppland in Sweden. It was the most common instrument in this region, played at dances and in various ceremonies and rituals. In the early 20th century, interest in the Nyckelharpa waned, but the traditions were maintained by enthusiasts, amateurs, and professional builders and musicians. Identification of the need for cohesive organization in the late 20th century resulted in the establishment of the Nyckelharpa Network. The primary objective of the network is to safeguard living heritage through various safeguarding activities. The informal and non-hierarchical model has enabled the spread and use of an almost extinct local instrument.
The file is well prepared and includes a safeguarding model, that features innovative and multi-pronged methods of safeguarding. It demonstrates the power of a community to revitalize an element. The network is spread across Sweden and in other countries around the world and focuses on coordinating regional and international efforts to safeguard the Nyckelharpa tradition. This program is recommended for approval on the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices.
Thank you very much. Can we have the draft decision, please? Are there any observations or comments on the draft decision? No. In that case, draft decision 18.com8.c2 is hereby approved, adopted. Thank you. You have the floor, Sweden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the evaluation body for recommending the inscription of the Nyckelharpa network on the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. This is the second practice from Sweden inscribed on the register, and this speaks to our firm belief that the register and its sharing of safeguarding practices is indeed the heart of the convention. Let us now travel far away to the cold and snowy Tobo in Uppland, Sweden, and hear from the practitioners who have worked so hard getting this instrument to UNESCO today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
On behalf of all the Nyckelharpa builders and players around the world, I would like to thank the evaluation group and the Intergovernmental Committee for the inscription of the Nyckelharpa network into the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. The Nyckelharpa is a tangible music instrument, while the way of playing and building it are two intangible expressions easily understood and appreciated all over the world. My name is Esbjörn Hogmark. As a practitioner of both building and playing the instrument, I have taken the initiative to develop the nomination in close collaboration with other Nyckelharpa practitioners and their organizations. The Nyckelharpa had been played in an uninterrupted tradition in the northeast part of the province of Uppland from the mid-1600s until the beginning of the 1900s, when it began to decrease in popularity. A famous fiddler, a Nyckelharpa builder, Erik Sahlström, reconstructed the instrument to fit into the modern music of the time. More melodic, with clear tones, free from drone sound. Sahlström's safeguarding measures from around 1950 and on saved the instrument from total extinction. The Erik Sahlström Institute, situated in Tobo in the province of Uppland, with its name after the late master, was founded in 1998. It is today a unifying center for both national and international Nyckelharpa activities. It runs a lot of safeguarding actions like seminars, courses, in both building and playing. All the work done together by Nyckelharpa builders and musicians in an open and free spirit has today spread the knowledge of the Nyckelharpa far beyond the borders of Sweden. I am fully convinced that Sweden's contribution to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices, the Nyckelharpa network, can be used as a model for practitioners and communities all over the world to safeguard their intangible cultural heritage. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Sweden, and congratulations. And I give the floor to the evaluation body so that they can share with us the findings of the body on the first proposal, ICH Safeguarding Practices Program for the Cultural and Ecological Sea Turtle Festival of Armila. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The file ICH Safeguarding Practices Program for the Cultural and Ecological Sea Turtle Festival of Armila was proposed by Panama. The Guna people of Armila, Panama, have lived in harmony with their natural environment and local fauna.
One closer.
I think we need to stop the queue now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Over to you again, Madam. Could you start?
The Guna people of Armila, Panama, have lived in harmony with their natural environment and local fauna for centuries. This relationship was embodied in their oral traditions. The nominated program was developed in response to the decreasing transmission of these oral traditions and to strengthen the artisanal practices and ritual expressions, dances, and music associated with the element. The 4-day event coincides with the arrival of the large laserback turtles. A safeguarding program centers around the organizations of an educational festival and implemented by local authorities and the communities. The safeguarding program is based on the inclusion of educational elements within cultural festivals and the combination of content related to nature, the universe, and oral traditions. The model has influenced festivals and festivities throughout the country and can be adapted to festivals in other countries.
Safeguarding measures include inventorying activities, efforts by schools, formal and informal education workshops, research, promotion, and transmission. The safeguarding practices are associated with wildlife protection. This program is recommended for approval to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices.
Thank you very much. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt the draft decision on this file as shown on the screens. I see no request for the floor. I therefore declare decision 18.com.8.c.1 as adopted. Congratulations, Panama. You have the floor, Panama.
Pon la bandera, pon la bandera. Okay. Estimado presidente del comité, ADG, autoridades, colegas y miembros de las comunidades de portadores, Panamá hoy se alegra de inscribir el programa del Festival Cultural y Ecológico de las Tortugas Marinas de Armila como nuestra primera inscripción en la lista de buenas prácticas de patrimonio cultural inmaterial y la primera de un pueblo indígena en Panamá. Agradecemos le puedan dar la palabra a su excelencia Giselle González Villarrué, ministra de Cultura de Panamá, quien está conectada junto con miembros de la comunidad de Armila y el viceministro de Asuntos Indígenas. Muchas gracias.
Un saludo y un abrazo fraterno desde Panamá a toda la comunidad de naciones de la Convención del 2003 y una gran felicitación por estos 20 años de crecimiento por el patrimonio vivo y su diversidad cultural. Nos sentimos muy complacidos por el ingreso del programa del Festival Cultural y Ecológico de las Tortugas Marinas de Armila de la comarca Gunayala en la lista de buenas prácticas de salvaguardia ante la UNESCO. Aquí estamos juntos, alegres y más comprometidos que nunca con nuestra riqueza patrimonial. Nos quedará en la memoria y en el corazón la reunión 18ª, la ciudad de Kasane en la nación de Botswana y esta fecha tan especial de diciembre del 2023. Esta noticia que hoy nos confirman desde África es la 4ª inscripción de Panamá en la lista de la UNESCO. Esta tiene un carácter muy especial. Representa los valores de la Convención del Patrimonio Cultural Inmaterial como una práctica modelo que inspira a otros. Nos cuenta una tradición oral que une el destino de las tortugas con la vida de los gandules, que une a toda una comunidad con la música, con las danzas, con sus artesanías, con sus molas y toda una organización desde los más pequeños hasta los mayores para cuidar su entorno, para darle la bienvenida a sus hermanas las tortugas baulas o marinas, las yahuiba para que desoben y reciban las nuevas crías, para rendirle homenaje a Mu, que es el mar, a esta América, que también es Avillala, tierra viva, tierra madura. Este festival ha inspirado la creación del sello verde del PCI. Hoy lo recibe Armila. Cada año buscaremos los festivales que nos recuerden este modelo de buenas prácticas. Gracias a ustedes por confiar en nosotros. Gracias a los hermanos gandules de Armila. Gracias, Gunayala, por este gran regalo.
Nuestros abuelos dicen que las tortugas son seres humanos, que en la cual son mujeres de estatura pequeñas y hombres de estatura pequeñas y que sus collares lo cargan hasta acá. Cada vez que ellos vienen, ellos se sentían, así que espiritualmente la tortuga para nosotros es como un ser humano, son nuestros hermanos.
12 días yo fuese no ni
cada 12 días no ni
4 veces más.
Bela bela evo duit kuar banalta salmar soilege di almar daedi igo ganno ergebe almar nanaidi igi almar ile makkergebe daisa wable wemar almar gidanikit teiso kuinale we festival sogedi bela bela gari mo daisa wiskule dagwet tania purrigana se bakar odur dailesid igi mor inugai makkergebe igi sapingana bibi sobergebe igi masmar salege yagan odur daile dagwet nekur kwablegi unale dagwet on makkenek daisa.
Muchísimas gracias a todos por ayudarnos a inscribir lo que es este festival y lo que representa para los demás festivales, tanto en Panamá como a futuro. Ojalá este sea un sello que se pueda replicar en diferentes regiones. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Panama, and congratulations once again. The evaluation body, could you please introduce the next file, which is Program for the Safeguarding of the Bandos and Parandas of the Holy Innocents of Kaukagwa nuclei of initiation and transmission of wisdoms and community councils, submitted by the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Okay, can we, well done, Panama. Congratulations, thank you very much. Okay, evaluation body, please introduce the Venezuelan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Program for the safeguarding of the bandos and parandas of the Holy Innocents of Caucagua, nuclei of initiation and transmission of wisdoms and community councils, was proposed by the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Program refers to street celebrations that take place on the nights of 27 and 28 December. This Afro-descendant festivity is characterized by live music and satirical clothing, mocking the styles of slave owners. To address this decreasing transmission of the practice, a safeguarding program was developed by and for communities. It aims to strengthen oral transmission through weekly programming content. The program has revitalized the festivity of the Holy Innocents and helped safeguard living heritage through training, community research, and seminars. Its bottom-up approach emphasizes community and youth participation, intergenerational exchange, and collaboration with national institutions.
The program is a reflection on how communities, groups, and individuals can have primary role in safeguarding their own intangible cultural heritage, in alignment with the principles of the 2003 Convention. It promotes respect for intangible cultural heritage and encourages its safeguarding among new generations. This program is recommended for approval to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practice.
Thank you very much. May I ask from the committee if there are any observations on the draft decision? Which is on the screens. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 18.8c.3 adopted as seen on the screens. Thank you. Congratulations, Venezuela. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. En nombre del Gobierno de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela y de nuestro presidente Nicolás Maduro, permítanos, en principio, felicitarle por su elección y agradecer a Botswana por su hospitalidad y excelente organización de esta 18ª reunión del Comité. Ha sido este, sin duda, un espacio excepcional para la celebración del 20 aniversario de nuestra convención. Con profunda emoción y gratitud al órgano evaluador como al Comité, Venezuela se honra en recibir esta inscripción al registro de buenas prácticas para la salvaguardia del patrimonio cultural y material de la humanidad. Esta declaratoria universal, la 9ª para nuestro país, como bien lo ha indicado el órgano evaluador en su texto examen, es sin duda un modelo para que otros países de América Latina, y aspiramos que así sea, interpreten y presenten sus historias culturales desde una perspectiva decolonial. Quiero ceder ahora la palabra a José Ángel Ramírez, acá a mi izquierda, presidente de la Casa de los Bandos y Parrandas de los Santos Inocentes de Caucagua y portador del elemento, no sin antes agradecer el apoyo recibido de instancias nacionales, regionales y locales de nuestro país, tales como el Ministerio del Poder Popular para la Cultura, la Gobernación del Estado Bolivariano de Miranda, representada a mi derecha por la amiga María Martínez, la Alcaldía del municipio de Acevedo y, por supuesto, la Red Comunitaria de Patrimonio del Estado Bolivariano de Miranda, quienes han prestado todo el apoyo necesario tanto a las comunidades de portadoras y portadores como a nuestro núcleo focal para hacer realidad este sueño, este gran sueño como venezolanos que hemos tenido y permitir la presencia de nuestra delegación en Botswana. Muchas gracias, Botswana. Que alemoja Botswana. José Ángel, te doy la palabra.
En mi país, Venezuela, todo un pueblo es oleaje fecundo de sus tradiciones. Es cantera de culturas vivas. Es obligatoria su salvaguarda entre una región y otra, y más allá en el sentido del espacio cultural común de América Latina y el Caribe. Es materia esencial de nuestra Constitución bolivariana, así que no resulta extraño ante el mundo encontrarnos cada vez más en la suma de nuevos logros del patrimonio cultural inmaterial de la humanidad que promueve esta convención. La comunidad que represento y que lleva el nombre del río que la circunda, Caucagua, es ciudad principal del famoso eje geográfico de Barlovento, en el estado bolivariano de Miranda. Allí, la herencia africana dejó sembrado el delirio de su huella como en tantas otras comarcas de América, entre ellas el fenómeno de los bandos y parrandas de los Santos Inocentes de Caucagua, al que hoy quiero referirme ante tan distinguido auditorio. El nombre de mi pueblo viene de esa rebeldía innata del esclavizado, de este otro continente que transformó sus cantos africanos en nuevas particularidades que hoy se expresan en la teatralidad, en el baile y en la línea melódica de nuestros coros. Sin duda, es demasiado hermoso poder hacer mención a nuestras celebraciones en este bello lugar de África, porque es de África de donde proviene nuestra manifestación, que bandera en alto dialoga el Día Cristiano de los Santos Inocentes, al menos desde hace 2 siglos. La experiencia de buenas prácticas tiene su fundamento en 2 programas esenciales que apuntan a la vitalidad de nuestra expresión: los núcleos de iniciación y transmisión de saberes y los consejos comunitarios para la salvaguardia del patrimonio cultural y material, donde portadores y comunidad hemos asumido con mucha responsabilidad transmitir y compartir los conocimientos a las nuevas generaciones, devolviéndole al pueblo lo que hemos aprendido de él. ¡Viva Caucagua! ¡Viva Venezuela! ¡Viva el Estado Bolivariano de Miranda con toda su gente y la parranda de los Santos Inocentes! Muchas gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you, Venezuela. Congratulations once again. Dear committee members, we have now completed the examination of the proposal submitted for the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices under item 8C.